Alright guys, it's Wilkes here, and today I have a completely beast hybrid squad builder featuring an Inform and Di Maria, and this was a complete tank squad, and it's only 100k, so it's quite cheap. I think everyone has 100k, so I seriously recommend you going out there and trying it for yourself. But with all that done, let's get into this squad build and start off with the goalkeeper. In goal, we have the Inter Milan goalkeeper, Handanovic, 84 rated. Now, he was an absolute tank for me, stopping loads of shots, and he is one of the best goalkeepers I've played with so far. So, he actually has a goal for me. Yeah, you'll probably see that later when the clips come up. And the guy was actually playing, but I was winning quite a bit, so I just thought, screw it, go for a goal, and pulled it off. So he was an absolute tank for me, one of the best goalkeepers I've played with, that 87 diving, 88 reflexes, and that 84 positioning. He was just so good, and I seriously recommend picking him up if you don't have him. Maybe put him in a SeriaA squad or this squad. Now, starting off in centre-back, we have our first in form. We have Gareth. Now, this guy is unbelievable. For only 12k, you get to pick up a centre-back with 89 defending and 87 heading. That is better than Sergio Ramos, Thiago Silva, Company, all of them. That is better than all of them. Now, he does lack in pace with only 55 pace, but just because of his price, it'd probably only be 10k now, that he is so good. And he has that medium work rate, scored a couple of goals for me, 4 goals. And he was such a solid centre-back. Not any player from the opposition team scoring any headers, just with that 87 heading. He was so solid, and he could do with a little bit more pace, maybe put a chemistry style on him to increase his pace. But apart from that, he's an absolute dime, really. Just his price with those stats, they just don't add up. I think it's because he's in the Liga Portuguesa, not a very... not a big league. No one really has that league, so that's what makes him so cheap. Now, moving on to the next centre back, we have Campagnaro. Now, Campagnaro, I went for someone with a little bit more pace, but still good defending and heading stats. And he as well, for me, he was okay. He wasn't as good as Gareth, but he still scored 4 goals, and he was a good centre-back to play with, a little bit more pace, which was good defending stats, good heading stats, 82 rated, that high work rate, which means he's pushing up and getting back as well, 3-star weak foot. He was a solid player, and he's cheap as chips, mate. He's only 800 coins, so that is amazing, really, just for that price and those stats. Now moving on to the left back, we have Radu. Now, you could choose Constant or Radu. They're the two SeriaA left backs. But I've got a bit of OCD, so I like to have all my players shiny. So I choose Radu, even though he has 10 less pace. He was okay for what he's rated, 78. He was okay. He defended well. He didn't score any goals for me, unfortunately, but being a left back, you don't really expect them to score many goals, and unfortunately he didn't even get any assists, but he still played quite solid in defence, and I saw him pushing up a little bit, which was quite good as well. Moving over to the right back, we have Zabaleta. Now, Zabaleta is okay as well. Would like him with a little bit more pace than he currently has, and maybe a little higher heading stats. But apart from that, he was good. Scored a nice goal for me. Got quite a few assists. A bit better than Radu, with that 3-star weak foot, high attacking, high defensive work rate. He was a good player for me, and I recommend getting him with that 82 rated. Moving on to the next centre defensive mid, we have Gonzalez. Now, Gonzalez works well with chemistry with Gareth, because both in the same league, same country, Liga Portuguesa. Now, Gonzalez for me was actually very good, probably better, or possibly better than the other centre defensive mid who you've seen is De Rossi. And he scored 6 goals, got a lot of assists, and I think the assists is what makes him such a good player. The assists were very good, just always assisting. That 4-star weak foot. He's got all around good stats. That he's got good shot, very good passing, which you want in centre defensive mid, and he's got good defending stats, which you also want. So for that price, only 2k700, he is a very good player. Now moving on to the next centre defensive mid, we have De Rossi. Now De Rossi is a very good player again. He scored quite a few goals, which was surprising, but with only a high defensive and medium attacking work rate. But he was getting back quite a bit with that 83 defending, 84 heading, 4-star weak foot. He was as well a very good centre defensive mid. Could do with a little bit more pace maybe. Only 69 pace. Would be nice if that came up into the 70s. But apart from that, he was a very solid centre defensive mid, and I don't really have any complaints about him. Moving on to the centre attacker mid, we have my favourite player of the team, Palacio. Now that may seem a bit of a surprise. He was originally a striker, got him converted to the centre attacking mid. But just those stats, 85 pace, 81 shot, and 72 head, 84 dribbling, they're just this dream stats you want for a striker, centre attacking mid sort of thing. Got the good medium work rate, but with only a medium attacking work rate, you think he wouldn't be pushing up as much. I don't really see that. He was further up than Tevez quite a lot of the time. 32 games played with 20 goals and 17 assists. He was just a playmaker in the team, and I'm not sure what it is about him. He doesn't seem awfully amazing, but for 2k500 and being just a star player of the team, for me, he was just absolutely amazing. Moving on to the left mid, we have El Shaarawy. Now, El Shaarawy was pretty amazing again, just taking those long shots, and he's scoring some absolute cracking goals with that 4-star weak foot, high work rate, and just that pace to get down the wing and just cross it into Palacio or Tevez. Mainly Tevez, who's the striker. And just cross it in, get a nice easy head, because he was just amazing. And he could also take it inside, go for those long shots, and quite a lot of the time he pulled them off and made some brilliant goals, which you'll see later in the clips. And 32 games played with 10 goals and 5 assists. I don't think he could ask for that much more. He was a really solid player, 4-star weak foot, and he was absolutely solid in his position. Moving over to the right mid, we have Di Maria. Now, Di Maria, I picked him up a little bit later than what I started with the original team, just because of his price. I didn't have that money lying around, really. I had to save up a little bit. So I didn't really get too much with him, but to be honest, he was a bit of a disappointment for me. You may have played with him before, and he might be better for you. But for me, he was a bit of a disappointment. He's got good pace. He can run down the wing, cross it in. But I just found him a bit disappointing. He didn't really do a lot. I know it says 9 games played and 16 goals. I was playing a little bit of single player, like seasons, just to get that extra coins, and I was a bit fed up. I raged a bit with playing online, so I just switched to single player, which is a lot easier. So don't let that fool you, but he does have very good dribbling, 86 dribbling, 4-star skill moves, high attacking, high defensive work rate, and although he wasn't as good as I expected for someone who's 36k, 86 rated, he was still a good player. He's still making good passes. He's got a good couple of goals online, and you can pick him up if you want. You can swap him out for someone else, but I didn't really see any good Argentinian right mids really. But moving on into the striker position, we have Tevez, and Tevez was absolutely amazing for me. He 32 games, 28 goals. That was so good. It was just amazing. 81 pace, 85 shot, 84 dribbling, 72 defending, 4-star skill moves, 3-star weak foot, high attacking, high defensive work rate. He was just absolutely just smashing in at all of the shots. just under Palacio or over Palacio. And there's not really much to say about him, apart from he was just a really solid striker, getting up, making good runs and all that. So yeah, that is the team, and it's an amazing team. I really like you to go try it out. Leave in the comment section what you thought of it, and I'll leave you with that and show you some clips. Thank you for listening, and see you in a bit, guys. Coming up.